Welcome back, everyone. Going into part 2 here of the Roleplay One Shot. It's time to almost play. We got one more thing left to do, right, Adam?
Yeah. So this is how we get introduced to the system. Each of us is going to do a quick one-on-one about your character's initiation into the dogs.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to learn how to make the dice do their thing.
Okay.
So I need somebody to go first.
Who's the guinea pig?
Yeah, who wants to do the first one?
I'll do it.
Okay. Cool. All right. So
I ain't afeard.
the sixth and final step is to
acceptance.
To find out your character's accomplishment. So I'm going to call on each of you to say something that you hope your character accomplished during initiation. So some examples are like, I hope my character won distinction in the eyes of the teacher of scripture, you might say, or I hope my character overcame his fear of blood. I hope I exorcised the demon. I hope I learned to curb my temper. And whatever grabs you. That accomplishment will be what's at stake in our first conflict. So do you have?
Yeah, I know exactly what it is.
All right. What do you hope that Brother Abednego learned during initiation?
Well, I think that it's probably not 100% understood by the church that he keeps these heretical documents. I think that he has a kind of attraction to them. It started as an inoculation, right? He wanted to protect himself from it by imbibing it. But the reality is that, like his father and like his family, like the culture he grew up in, there is some reverence for these alternate interpretations of the doctrine. Mm-hmm. And so I think that that's probably understood. That had to be the first thing they were concerned about, would be that ultimately this new dog would revert, and it wouldn't be surprising if he did. And so I think that there was probably an aspect of his accomplishment, of his success through this thing, that had to do with challenging or trying to lure him with false doctrine. Almost like that's very biblical too. Like speaking to the serpent. Like snakes are really good at the Bible.
Right. Okay. So will you phrase it like I hope I overcame my
my attraction.
Yeah. Okay.
False doctrine.
Okay, so we set the stage. We think of a pivotal moment with regard to this accomplishment. We talk about who's there and what's going on. So I imagine this is a moment I imagine to be solitary, right? Like
I think so too.
An in class kind of situation.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that the way it is that I imagine that it's challenging. It's their faith is challenged and they have to surmount it. And then there's moments of rest. But I think for his test, even the moments of rest were tests also. I think that there isn't, like where he is resting, I don't think there are any, I don't think the book of life is anywhere to be found. I think there's nothing but false doctrine and false books. So when I crack it for comfort after these challenges, every time I'm looking at one, it's a different false book.
Sure. Okay. So I think maybe we see your character in a situation like that, in a moment of solitude with one of these texts, these unapproved texts. And the way this works is you're gonna play you as you are. You're gonna play this character who is over curious, who is interested in learning more. You're gonna try to push for staying the way that you are, for justifying and working your way through being the way you are. And I'm going to play the influence of the king of life here. And I'm going to try to turn you from this dark path.
Right.
And whoever wins, that'll determine the trait that we write after this. So for me, I always roll the same thing. I roll the same thing for everybody. I roll 46 and 40-10 because change is hard.
Good Lord.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. Yeah. So 46 and 40-10. So that's what I'll start with.
Jeez.
And I think that in this case, this is going to be a heart and acuity roll for you. So you're going to roll.
Okay, so that's 96.
That number.
Would be my base.
Yep, and you'll be able to bring in your traits as you need them on raises and Cs.
Absolutely. So to my mind, him being prepared for this sort of thing. Of course, for Abednego, it's 1d4, right?
Yep.
But also, I think the idea that Scripture is his home, that he has spent a long time trying to create a sort of fortification around himself.
Yeah. So just start with those 96, and then when I call on you to when it's your turn to raise, you'll be able to bring your traits in. Yeah.
Okay, so that's the system. I see.
Yeah. So we'll walk through the first one. Will be slower. This is to teach the other players.
This is the guinea. You're the guinea pig. Yeah.
Right. So I'm gonna. So what I need to do now is haul out a shitload of dice.
Yeah. Drag those d6s onto your side, and then whoever has it's gonna be me. Whoever has the 2 highest dice put together, they're gonna be the one who goes first, and I'm gonna represent the King of Life, telling you to chill your shit on this heretical stuff.
Yeah.
And these things can be, we can get kind of like metaphorical with them. Like, I'm not obviously going to be like, God comes down as like, whoa, dog, put that shit away. It's going to be like the whispering of guilt and, all that business. And we'll walk through how that works with C.
Okay. Well, as someone with D10s, I suspect you're going to come out on top of this.
Yeah.
He won.
I rolled okay, but we'll see how it goes. We have a lot of control over like how hard we push in these things, and what we choose to respond with. So my dice together, my 2 highest are 11, which beats. You didn't get a 6 and a 5. You didn't roll very well, unfortunately for your.
You're telling me.
I feel like you're gonna retain your dark curiosity. I have this feeling.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be all right.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna put forth. So we're envisioning the scene. Where are you? Are you like have you hidden somewhere to like look at this book, or are you?
Exactly. I think it's like in the knot of a tree or something.
Okay, so you have the. I don't think you've even opened the book yet. You have this heretical version of the.
I'm wondering if I should, right?
Yeah, sitting in your lap, and you can hear. I'm gonna start with a call to community. You think you can hear in the distance?
Oh, the bell.
You can hear the bell, right? You can hear the bell ringing. Some communal meal is beginning, and everyone is coming. We're in Bridal Falls. We're in the place where you learn to become a dog. Everyone's gathering for prayer and for a meal. And we're gonna start. I'll start gentle with you. I'll put up a pair of 3s. So I'm calling you home. Like, put down the book and come away from that place. And now your job is to respond to those 3s that I've put forward by either you have a 6 to respond to. So you need to take your dice and you need to put at least 6 forward. If you could in 1 die, you'd be able to reverse the blow. That's the best possible thing. But
so if I had a 7 through 10 on a D10,
you want to do it with the least number of dice you can, because unless you want to take the fallout, because if it's 2, you describe blocking or dodging. If you more than 2, you take the blow. So it's like whatever bad thing was coming, you're gonna take that. You're gonna take that thing.
Okay, so I want to try to be concise with this here.
Yeah, but the more you use up your dice, remember I still got a 6 and a 5. I can.
Oh yeah, I know.
We'll go back and forth. Okay, so you're gonna put up. Okay, yeah. So you're gonna use 2 to meet it.
Yeah.
So there's a quick question: when you say take the blow, in this case, would it be not being pulled back, and he would have to stay with the book, or would that be the end of this conflict?
No, you can give at any time, or you can escalate. But I think in this case, there isn't really a path for escalation. You can't very well shoot the book. That won't help.
No.
Well, although it should happen because it's kind of rad.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that.
But also you can roll in traits too. If you're running out of dice, you can be like, oh well, my character has a so you can do that anytime before you put the dice up. But so I put up a 6. So with 2 dice, you block or dodge. So now you describe to me how you block out or dodge my effect of the sound of the bell ringing, and you can hear people beginning maybe like some hymns cheerfully returning.
Somehow he's able to convince himself that it's just the pounding of his heart in his chest.
Right. Perfect. Okay. So the sound of your blood rushing through your ears is stronger than that of the church bells. Okay. Cool. So now it's your turn. You've done your C. Now you're going to raise. So you take 2 of your dice and you put them up to me, and you describe your character. And in the same way, you can use traits now if you.
Yeah. Oh, so I could use traits to add to my pool?
Yes. Correct.
Okay. Well, here I'm gonna put up one of these here. Ooh.
Okay.
Thanks, D4.
All right. So what trait are you using, and how is it?
He's prepared. So in this case, I am like the role I'm playing is like against the best version of myself, right?
Yeah. You want to be the bad version of you.
Exactly. So can I put down a D4 and another type of dice?
Yeah. You have to put up 2 dice right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this D4 and this 3.
Okay.
So this is even the smell of the book is interacting with his psychology in some way. Just like his thumb is like on the spine of it. He cracks it to the passage that he knows, the passage that he doesn't have an answer to from the faith.
Right. There's some hidden guidance there that you can't find in the Book of Life. Okay.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So I got to respond to this 7.
This heretical scenario.
Which I will do. Okay. So I think so there's that smell, right? That like tannin, like book smell.
Mm-hmm. Leather.
I think that kind of like woody, like earthy smell leads.
The sacred earth.
It leads your mind. Yeah, exactly. It leads your mind back to the smell of like an earlier in that week. There was a consecration ritual. You're on your knees in the mud, and you hear the teacher. You hear your teacher's voice as he anoints your forehead with the consecrated earth from the riverbanks, saying that in times of uncertainty, clear your mind. Seek not false words, but that the river of the king's wisdom will fill you as a vessel. So I go ahead and block, and now it's my turn to respond. Now you can see, because you have traits, you've got more dice than me, but I got some big numbers. So I'm gonna put it where it hurts. So let's go ahead and put up 10. Now, in that same, I think the immediate memory following that being consecrated, there's a sense of like as iron is forged on the anvil, so too must you be bathed in the icy river. And there's this just like memory of being dunked in the freezing river of Bridal Falls, and like not being able to think, right? Like having all thought washed from your mind by the pure like physicality of the river, and the king is clearing out all these bad thoughts. And I think you shiver holding the book in your lap.
I do. I'm gonna use my trait, prune the branch. I think that this temptation, what a shit show, Jerry. I think that this temptation is such that in the same way that he is called to cleanse these towns, I think that he is coming to believe that maybe he is what needs to be called.
Okay. So if you use 3, you're taking the blow.
I know.
And we'll make a note. You got 3 fallout dice to roll so far. And we'll just set those aside over here. Okay. So yeah, you're feeling like maybe unready for this task.
Exactly. Like impure, like actually not able to do it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do you respond? Now you get to put something forward. You got some dice left.
He is going to respond by reaching down to his holster and verifying that it is fully loaded.
Okay. All right. So you put up a 5. I'm going to put my 5 up. I'm going to reverse the blow. It's not. You reach for your gun and find only emptiness. You must have left it behind when you were doing target practice with Sister Hezekiah, and you can envision exactly where it's at, sitting on this stump out at the edge of the field, and you feel a sudden sense of first vertigo, but then also that it's okay. You feel a sense of like the king's buoyancy there holding you up. You don't need to turn to such base things. And like your missing gun, set the book aside. Now, because I went with 1 die, because I was able to reverse the blow, I get to keep that die and add the 2.
Oh wow!
So I'm gonna go ahead and put up a 7. And I think
in this case, there's no numbers here. I mean, I lost this.
Yeah. So I think that's this feeling like set aside these things. The king's purity is all you need, and at this point you can you give essentially because
we need to entertain the idea that this is the best game of all time. Let's just take a moment and
It's been called that.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, he's involved.
He's involved. Yeah, no, he's part of this. Yeah.
He's around.
At a root level.
The wisdom of the King of Life fills you. You realize that yes, there's this false doctrine in the world, but you can choose when and when not to engage with it. And as a result, because what's at stake is do you overcome your curiosity? You get to write a new trait, a 1d6 die trait about that. Like I overcame my curiosity, or I'm in control of my curiosity, or something like that, right?
No, it isn't like he's not in control. His curiosity would have resulted in his own death. The King of Life is in control.
Nice. I like that.
The King of Life is the author of events.
I like it. Cool. Okay. So there's one last
somebody
thing.
else has to get on this fucking ride. This is incredible.
So one last quick thing that we need to do. We would roll your Fallout dice. So you got three dice.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Non-physical conflict. So at the end of every conflict, you look at how many dice you had, not the type, just you have 3 dice.
Yeah.
And just roll them. Roll 3d4. You're just basically looking for ones.
3d4.
Okay, so you didn't get any ones. Aside from the trait that you get, this conflict didn't change your character in any.
That works great for me.
Yeah. So normally, what might happen during Fallout, you roll a bunch of dice, and this is how the characters gain experience. You change your stats, your relationships or traits change. It's also how you can get killed. Now your Fallout sum is 4. It's 7. So if it's less than 8, you have a short-term consequence. So you'd subtract 1 from one of your stats for next conflict. Take a new 1d4 trait for just that uses in one conflict. Change a relationship to a d4 for the next conflict, or leave the scene and spend some time alone if there's a no follow-up.
That's probably the best opportunity for this game. I think that makes the most sense.
Totally. Yeah. Cool. All right. So despite being sort of called back, you still miss that dinner. You don't get to participate in the hymn. Cool. Go looking for your gun down by the river.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Who's next?
There we go. Yeah. Who wants to go next?
I'll hop in. How about that?
Yeah, you want to do it? Okay. What's Matt? What do you hope that Brother Simon learned during initiation?
Brother Simon is still haunted by the apparent circumstance that as much as his people place faith in him to seek out and destroy demons that corrupt those who would otherwise find their way to the King of Life themselves, he's already failed to discern the nature or the existence of one, and that misunderstanding could lead to further misinterpretations and losing his way, let alone damaging innocence in the world. So he wants the opportunity to properly identify some sort of possession or presence of a demon and show that he has the strength of will and heart to banish it from this world.
That's awesome. Okay. So I have this great, I have this idea. You let me know if this makes sense. So it's your instructor. You're standing in a room, and I imagine the room is it's a special it's a special room in some way. Like there's no windows. The walls are probably like reinforced with like blessed silver like panels or something. You're in like a demon containing room. And on the table in front of you, there are several objects. We got this whole like kind of Dalai Lama thing going on, right? There's like a revolver. There's like a bloody knife. There's a coffin nail. There's a bottle of whiskey. Just a bunch of like miscellaneous objects on this table. And your instructor has said to you, one of these objects was wielded by a sorcerer in a terrible crime, and still bears the taint of its magic. Tell me which is it? And the entire conflict, we're gonna, and this is a fun thing we can do with this game. The entire conflict will take place between the end of him saying that, like which one is it, and at the very end of the conflict will be you choosing. So these will just be like you casting your eyes over the objects. It'll be the whispers of the demons trying to like guide you the wrong way. Sound good?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me roll my pile of dice here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Enjoy.
You might be fucked.
7, 5,
It's all right. We're used to Adam's bullshit around here.
4, and 3. Okay, so go ahead and roll your same thing, heart and acuity. I think this is just a talking.
Heart and acuity. All right, so it's gonna be.
Ooh,
That's not bad. Yeah.
Not too bad.
You got traits.
Good ante.
So that's cool.
It's a good ante.
Yeah, good 6s in there.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
so
didn't need tens.
I've got a 14. So I gotta start. So I'm gonna put up. Let's make it rough on you on the first one. I'm gonna put up a number I know you can't beat. So I'll put up an 11. You could use those 2 6s if you want to start that way. But so all these objects are laid on the table, and I think here I'm not playing the King of Life trying to help you out. I'm playing demons. I'm playing darkness. And I think the first thing, your eyes are drawn straight to that whiskey bottle, right? Yeah. The peeling label, that little bit of brown liquor down at the bottom. You can smell it from here, from across the room, and it just draws you to it. Just pulls you in. So that's mine. You got to see that number.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use my my trait as a response to this. That I know the devil's juice well. I've seen the effect it's had on people close to me and even peripheral. And I'm gonna go ahead and take a keen, hard look and see if the smell of that alcohol also contains the smell of brimstone.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. Yeah, so roll your trait dice. There you go. You get another 3 you can use. That's good.
Yeah, that's something.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. Cool. All right. So you can either use those 2 6s, or you can use more than 2 of your dice.
Okay. Let me see here. Let me pull this in here. All right, come on. Let me pull the 3 in. Huh. There it is.
There you go.
All right. I'm shaken by this. I know it seems like a trick in its own right, but my eyes just can't seem to wander off that label, and I can feel the sweat bead dripping down the front of my forehead and make its way into the corner of the eye, and the salt stings and shakes my resolve as I find myself forced with the possibility that I do not understand this as well as I had hoped.
Mm-hmm. So maybe there's more to learn than you thought.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. All right. So you got 3 fallout dice, and
I'll take it.
now it's your turn. Show us your resolve. What do you do now that it's your turn?
All right. Now that it's my turn, I stare cleanly and distract myself in the moment, seeing myself drawn too strongly towards that wicked bottle. I'm going to go ahead and look over the rest of the items on this table. You said there was a bloody knife.
Mm-hmm.
You said there was is there a gun?
There can be whatever you like. It's your raise.
So bloody knife. We'll say there's a gun still dark at the chamber from the recent blast of gunpowder used from its previous emission. And I see there as well what looks to be some sort of a top piece of twine with some sort of a dark rub mark on the inside, and maybe a hint of some sort of dried skin, like it was used to strangle someone.
Mm-hmm.
knowing these all being implements of murder or implements of ritual in their own right, whether it be sacrifice, and the depth of which I've poured my understanding of demonic rituals and the summoning of these terrible things, I'm going to go to I will drive the demons out. I will.
Cool.
Go ahead and throw that down.
Yep. Okay.
Oh, not the best reader.
You talk a good talk, Mercer. That's what counts.
But that being the case, I am frustrated at what was already thrown at me, and I will not be left here unproven. So I will throw down, at the very least, an intent to multiple of these items across from that barrel.
All right. So a rush of memory or thought. I think maybe you hear your father's voice over all of these things, but this would be the thing where it cuts to like some stock like screaming. Maybe you hear a horse whinny, like panicked. There's a fire, and you just get this kind of onrush of demonic. Maybe you've tried to turn on your perception a little bit and been overwhelmed by it. The demons have said, you're going to open the door. Well, we're going to come inside, and yeah, you feel a burning sensation. Your heart starts to pound, and yeah. It's one thing to open yourself to the demons, but it's another to be prepared for it. So I've got to respond to this 9. So I will, let's see, I'll put up 2. I'll block you. So yeah, so the demons try to overwhelm you. And I think that you find yourself, I'm going to put up my, let's see, my 7. And what do you got? 7, 8, you got 9? Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna put up 9.
Gruesome.
And yeah, your hands are trembling. There's the taste of bile at the back of your throat, and you're trying to focus, and your vision's blurry. You've kind of lost track. You can feel the presence of your instructor somewhere behind you, but you can maybe smell. What did your father do for work? What was he?
Well, originally he was a farmhand that focused on building or repairing plows, metals.
Sure. So you can smell the sweat of your father after a long day of work, and the smell of like the oil he had on his tools from behind you. Like the presence of your instructor sort of seems to fall away, and you have this like your hackles get raised at that scent.
Yeah, which, as a response to that, immediately it strikes in, triggering my relationship with my father, which I have at a 3d4.
Yeah. Perfect. That'll make it all better. Yeah.
Always.
There you go.
It's something.
Okay.
I grasp onto that taste of bile and clench it down. My teeth kind of crack. As I clench harder and harder, going to go ahead and throw down the best block that I can there. Still taking it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't move that 3, strangely enough.
Get that 3 on there. Okay.
There we go. Thank you.
All right. There we go. All right. It's your turn.
All right.
So you've managed to kind of push all that stuff aside. The table is before you.
I'm starting to get really frustrated now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing I'm not very good with is frustration and anger. And now, if there is still the sense of being able to contain myself is starting to fade at this point, I'm going to go ahead and let my temper take the best of me and see if that little bit of rage in the back can focus my intent as to which one of these might contain the anger of the creature.
Okay.
Even me with a 5. I can pull it in. Man, app's giving me problems here.
Yeah, if you you got to grab the one with the little box around it, the actual die you rolled, and not the result. It's harder with one die because they're the same number.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Now I figured out. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and drop down that 4 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So this is you calling on your anger to like push away the demons, that white hot rage that you used before to literally beat the devil out of your father.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's more like the difficulty with my character's dichotomy with Brother Simon's issue is there is the understanding, the conscious mind, and the love for the King of Life himself, and then there is the need to produce and prove that he is worth what's been placed upon him in this point. And when that anger sets in, it can be severe detriment, or it can be the focus that he needs to let all the rest of the whispers in the world back away and focus on the task at hand.
Excellent. So the demons in this case, the sort of circumstance, I can block, right? I have enough to block, but I'll have nothing to raise. So thereafter, you've won. Now you've got a lot of fallout to roll, but what'll happen? So I think you go down into that place, that white hot rage, and use it to push away all the distractions, and your eyes, without question, your eyes are drawn to the coffin nail lying in the middle of the table, and and with the sudden quiet in the room, like you can hear the sound of the instructor trying to breathe quietly, and suddenly everything becomes clear in the wake of the kind of fire of your anger, you're now sure you can tell that that's the object that you're meant to choose.
I reach down and I take my icon of the king off my neck, pulling the chain free from around my shoulders. Take 2 steps forward to the table in the center, take the symbol and touch it very gently to the coffin nail while making eye contact with my instructor and say, "The demon is found."
Yeah, and your instructor, he nods. And you can see that now, like we turned to him, we were sort of seeing him for the first time. He's got, sweat all beaded on his forehead, and I see him clasping his hands in front of him. And when you do that, he nods, and then we fade out. So you're gonna get you get that trait that you want. So you were able to recognize it's 1d6. You can phrase it however you like, just like any other trait, and it's about recognizing demons. I can spot a tainted artifact.
Recognize the taint, I'm going to say, because it's fun to say.
Yeah.
And it's a good skill, honestly.
Yeah.
All right. So lastly, let's have you roll your fallout. Just roll 6d4.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Oh, 2 ones.
2 ones, huh?
Yeah, 2 ones, and your highest is 8. So let me pop open my little fallout resolution thing here. Okay, so fallout sum is 8 or greater. Choose 1 item from the long-term consequences list. Subtract 1 from one of your stats. Take a D4 trait or relationship. Add 1 to an existing D4 trait or relationship. So it goes from 1D4 to 2 or 2 to 3. Mm-hmm. Subtract a die from a D6 or higher trait or relationship. Change the die size to D4 from a D6 or a D8. Basically, things get more complicated. Or rewrite your code's description to include something accordingly, or erase a belonging.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say through that circumstance, my temper, which pushed me through,
Mm-hmm.
and I technically should be trying to avoid, I've come to rely on a little stronger. So I'm changing my temper from a 1d6 to a 1d4.
Cool. Okay. And then you get to choose, because you rolled a 1, you get to add 1 to one of your stats, add a new D6 trait or relationship, add or subtract a die from an existing trait or relationship, or change the die size of a trait or relationship. So you get a little bit of flexibility around changing that.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to go
It's
ahead
not bad, like in the classic sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Fallout.
I will go ahead and actually change my newly gained recognize the taint trait from 1d6 to a 1d8.
Nice. Okay. All right. Whoever's next, let's talk. I got my dice here.
Sister Sunlight, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So I think, Sister Sunlight spent a lot of time out east, saw a lot of bad men. She ran into her fair share of not so trustworthy fellows out west also. I think at the end of the day, the thing she wants to learn during her initiation is that she can trust her fellow dogs. She wants some foundation, something to stand on. Obviously, she has the love of the King of Life, but something more material. She wants to trust a lot of you.
Right. Okay. So you want to learn that you can trust, if not people generally,
Right.
then your fellow dogs. Okay.
Exactly.
All right. So you're going to be playing yourself, untrustworthy and insular. I mean, I'm going to be playing other dogs, trying to invite you in, trying to like teach you that they can be trusted.
Sounds good.
What
do you think this is?
So I think that there would be some kind of like, I'm sure, some kind of exercise or something where they like teach you to rely on one another. And maybe I don't know, maybe you're like out away from the camp, away from the city on like a long like trip. Maybe you're sent out in groups of 3 out into the desert, and it's like come back in 10 days. Right? And things are getting a little harrowed. You've been out here a long time, and you're relying on another one of the dogs to perform a task to help keep you safe. What is it? Are they hunting for food or making a fire or?
I think that they're actually keeping watch. I think there's a lot of wolves out here, and rumors of some bandits, and so it's actually just like, can I sleep with both of my eyes closed? Can I actually relax and trust, Brother Ezekiel to actually keep watch over us as I sleep?
Cool. Okay. All right. So I could see this as being either like physical, like about like calming your body enough to like reduce that stress, or we could do talking, you do heart and acuity.
Is there a body and will? Is that not one of these?
I think for body and will, it's fighting. So if you want to
it's not that. It's definitely not fighting. So yeah, it should be calming the body down then. Like it's she has to resist the urge to just be like jacked up all the time.
Yeah.
So what do you say that was? It was body and heart?
For this one, physical but not fighting, yeah, body and heart.
Okay, it's gonna go great. That's 66. It's gonna be just complete garbage.
So many dice. They're all so big.
Nothing like no ones, but
yeah.
All right. So while you're dragging those out, I'll get started. So, you're out here with a couple of your brothers and sisters, and I guess one of each, and they, for a fact that both of these two are not outdoors types, right? They are not like they continually have relied on you to be like, wait, can I eat this plant? Are these berries safe? What's that sound?
Right.
Is that a coyote? I think it's a wolf, right? Just constantly. And it's been getting worse and worse and weighing on you more and more. And you just find like you're laying there, you can feel the heat of the fire on one side of you, the cold all around you. And the two of them are talking. And I think that, Sister Constance says something just plain dumb, like just like about, where to find food, and she's just, you can tell she's quoting it from a book she read, but it's not real. It's not real information.
Right.
So your temptation here is to not sleep and just correct them and like deal with the problem.
No, but I have a relationship with the valley shaded, which says that I'm just kind of comfortable here under the shade of the mountains, and so I'm just trying to like lean into that feeling of peace, because this is my place.
Cool. Okay.
I'm gonna roll another 2d6 here.
Nice.
There's that 6 I was hoping for. All right. So you rolled a 12.
Yeah, I'm putting up a 12.
More than a difference of 2 is take the blow.
One is a turnaround, 2 is a block or a dodge.
Okay.
And then 3
is take the blow.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna take the blow here, no matter what, huh?
I mean, you've just got the 1-6.
I only got the 1-6, so yeah. So grab that last 2. There we go.
Okay. All right.
Goes over to Fallout.
So describe how you take.
Yeah. So I think the sun is like setting over the western hills, and there's just this moment where the fire is kicked up and the stars start to like show up in the sky above her. And there's literally just a shot of her laying on the sand as the shadow passes over her. And like out here, this is safe. This is okay.
Right. And yeah, and I think that the two of them, like you say that and Sister Constance hears you and she turns and looks and like kind of again like quietly to Brother Zeke, she's like, see, I told you. She says so, it must be right. Cool. So now you can put up some dice. And you can use traits for these too if you wanna get extra dice.
Actually, I just realized we're doing this backwards. Because I'm supposed to be advocating for me being
flipping.
shitty. Yeah. So actually, let me rewrite that. Or just go back to what actually I just said, which was, I think what she says is like, I don't need the two of them.
Yeah.
Nature provides for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you'll just let her eat whatever fucking berries
whatever the fuck she wants. Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I am also I am going to turn over and then like grasp at my belly because like it grumbles a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But then I reached into like a little side pocket and pull out some jerky that I'd made previously.
Okay.
Myself.
Cool.
I'm going to use my damn fine cook to add some more here.
That's that solo jerky.
Oh yeah, this is just my jerky. This jerky is for me alone.
We need a solo jerky emote. So we need. I don't know how much use you get out of it.
It's in the book of life. If thou goest out into the desert, bring thee thou solo jerky and feed it not unto the others, for it is thine and thine alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Where Sister Constance is kind of weird.
Yeah. It's going Monty Python real quick, Adam.
Awesome. All right, so you're gonna put up a 7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you eat your jerky, and I'm gonna respond here. Let's put up. Okay, I'll match you. I'll block here. So I think all it is you roll over and you like eat it and you notice it so they don't notice you, and you hear brother Zeke sigh, and he says he's like there ain't nothing to eat out here. I don't think I'm gonna be strong enough to even make it back. And Constance is like, no, it's fine here. And like, you can't. We're seeing you doing this whole thing. You hear her rustling until it gives him something. He's like, are you sure? And like looks at it, and then in the background we hear like a wolf howl somewhere far away.
Cool.
And I think when that happens, I think when we hear the wolf howl, they both stop. They get quiet, and you hear Zeke take out. He's got this like hunting knife. You hear him take out his knife, and Constance says, "Should we wake her?" Of course, you're already awake.
Of course. Ugh.
God, this is hot shit.
This is hot shit. It's just one wolf I'm hearing?
I mean, maybe, yeah. They just heard a scary noise, and they're like, "No, we should wake you up." You don't want to trust them, right? You want to wake up, and you want to like your dice here are you want to wake up and deal with the problem. And I'm tempting you just to chill out and let them deal with it.
Right. No, she like at the sound of the wolf sits up. I can't count on y'all for nothing, huh? Drop those fucking berries. And give me my gun.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So we'll throw these in your fallout pile. I see where this is headed.
Oh yeah, it is. We sure do see where it's
now. Your raise can cut. You can cut ahead. We could be like back at the town. You could be like near the body of the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
What's the next thing we see? Describe your raise, which I'm going to be able to block, but then have nothing to respond with.
Well, what happens at that point?
You win.
Okay, even though, so if you block, okay. Gotcha.
I'll block, but then I have nothing to raise with. So
cool.
The next thing I can stand in its way, but that's all I got.
So we're standing over, it's Sister Constance and I, what we're standing over is two bodies. It's the body of Brother Ezekiel and the body of the wolf.
Okay.
He actually did try to protect me. The wolf ran past both of them. I missed my shot. And it put me to the ground. And Ezekiel kicked it off of me. And then it just jumped up and caught him in the fucking throat. And I shot it then. And so like on paper, it's as if I should be able to count on them. But the fact that they didn't protect me from like to let me get the shot lined up first in my head is immediately like, of course, if they just stopped it to begin with, I would have been able to get that shot and protect him.
Yeah. So I think my response, my C here will be, I'm going to see that a hymn sung in harmony is a hymn properly sung. That if we all try to sing our parts alone, ain't no word getting across.
Right.
So
Right.
you win. So you get to take a trade about not trusting them.
Yeah. I think I want it to be something a little vague though, because of how close they came down to the end, right?
Totally. Yeah. It's up to you.
Yeah. Give me a second to figure it out. You go ahead. And I'll wrap back around. But let's do the Fallout dice.
Yeah. So roll 64. Actually, in this
Great.
case, since it's a little bit more serious, there was some physical stuff.
There was.
What kind of dice you roll? In this case, I think it's D6s here.
Shit. Okay.
Let me see. Oh, it's on the other one. Fallout. Yeah, physical D6s. Yeah, 66.
Okay.
Okay. So did you get any ones?
I got one.
Got one.
Okay. So you get to choose one from the experience list. And what's your highest number together?
10.
10? Okay. All right. So the stages are below 8, 8 to 12, 20, like up and up as you go. So your highest total, you're going to obviously write your new trait. You're going to subtract 1 from one of your stats, take a new 1d4 trait or relationship, add a die to a d4 trait or relationship. You can see all this stuff on the
This is in the Fallout handout.
Fallout resolution.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll link
I
this
gotcha.
up in chat.
And that's all in there. So you can grab that stuff.
All right. So new trait, and then what were the other things? So new trait from
new
this.
trait, 1 from the experience list for rolling a 1, and then 1 from the long-term consequences list.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
I see. Thanks.
Cool. All right. So let's do our famous dog, Brother Joseph. What do you hope you learned during your initiation?
I think Joseph is all his life. He's been told he's a Bartlett by everyone, including his family. That's the mantra. The first 18 years are, you're a Bartlett. You can't do better than that in this life. That's the best it's ever going to get. But I think Joseph wants to be more than a Bartlett. I think he wants to try to be a better thing than a Bartlett, if such a thing does exist in the world. Because to him and his world so far, he doesn't think it does.
Okay. All right. So I think we see you, and you're on your way back from study of scripture. So you've got your book of the book of life in your arms. You're heading back to the little house where you and the other boys your age sleep. And you get cornered by another of the dogs. Someone he's a initiate as well. Kind of came from a bad place, and he's had his eye on you the whole time. Keeps kind of like trying to get in your way. Let's name this guy. This guy's Brother Archibald.
So
Brother Archibald. Yeah. So Brother Archibald. You see him approaching, and he's got the fight in his eyes. It's time. Somebody got him all fired up, and he's come to prove that being a Bartlett ain't shit, and that you aren't all that. And I think that we start with him like just right up in your face, like pushing you and getting physical. Like he just wants to pick a fight. Now you're gonna play yourself. If you win, you won because you're a Bartlett, right? You just proved to him, yep, I'm better than you because of my name. If I win, you're going to learn that maybe there are more important things than being a Bartlett. It's a physical fight, but it's about like why you're fighting.
Okay.
So Archibald is going to roll. And let's see.
Holy shit. Okay.
45. All right.
That's a massacre.
This is the bone zone.
Yeah.
Seriously.
What physical is body and heart?
If you're fighting, like fighting, it is
Hand.
body and will.
It's body and will? Okay.
Yep.
Hey, I'll take it.
Hey.
Hey, not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, he's got some bad combos,
Yeah.
not like dice-wise, but I think you got a solid number there.
Yeah.
And I have nothing to add to this. This is the whole
Exactly.
pool I'm going to get. So I will. I'll start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll start because I got the highest dice. I'm gonna put up 2 of these 6s. Now remember, if you're looking at getting like a bunch of physical fallout and you don't want to take it, you can just give. You can cede control over what's at stake. Because here's what's at stake: is do you learn that lesson? It goes either way for y'all right now. So I'll start with this 12. I'll put up a 12. Brother Archibald, he doesn't really even say anything. He just storms up to you and knocks the Book of Life from your hand and pushes you back. And you can see him tensing up to follow up with a swing. You hear the thud of the book hit the ground.
Okay. I think as I fall back, I see the book almost in slow motion, and from my eyesight, hit the ground and fall into the dirt. And I was raised to never let that book ever touch the ground or anything unholy, and so I get immediately fired up, but do my best to try to keep that rage down and prep myself for the oncoming fury of fist that I think are going to approach me. So I'll just match it to start off with.
Okay, so just block. Okay. All right, and now you can raise. So he's getting ready to punch you. You bring your arms up, and you can describe how you react. You can say like he starts hitting you or whatever. You have some ability there, but you put up your 2 dice. How do you want to raise?
Okay. I can use a relationship here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would think that as Bartletts, we were trained to never cast the first stone. So we don't start fights, we finish them. Mm-hmm. And so I'm gonna call on the relationship of the Bartlett family.
Sure, that's totally what's at stake here.
Yeah, brought up on that, and that's got a 2d8 tied to it.
Okay.
Fuck.
Oh no.
And so I think back to all that.
It's 2 1s.
Wow.
And basically what that means is I got beat on a lot as a kid. So it wasn't the best of times. I go to a dark place, but I'll still sit there and take it.
So JP has rolled his PTSD dice.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so put the dice up for your race. You just take the punch. That's your thing.
Yeah, I'll just take the punch. I'll throw down a 6 and 3.
So you're just thinking about it all the time. You're like, this is okay. I can handle this. I've been beaten on before by tougher guys than this. My brothers are bigger and tougher than you. I'm a Bartlett. I can take it.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to respond to this 9, which is real easy for me.
Yeah, it is. I know exactly how.
Yeah. So your brothers fighting with your brothers. That's they don't intend to hurt you. They're not there they're trying to teach you how to be tough. And so you actually don't take fallout for those.
Oh, I don't take fallout for it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are a raise. That's you attacking me.
Gotcha.
So he lays into you a couple of times, while you block your head. But this isn't, you're not wrestling, right? And he takes a low punch and hits you right in the stomach, and it knocks the wind out of you. And when you buckle over, I get to keep that 9 because I reversed the blow. I'm gonna throw in, this give you a real hard hit. When you buckle over, I think he just brings his boot up right into your face.
God damn.
Yeah. So you just get he like just kicks you in the face. You feel like something like crunch. There's the sudden taste of copper in your mouth, and now you got to respond to that. 17.
I think as a younger kid, Joseph saw his father Jacob get a beating from his grandfather Isaac. And he's probably thinking back to that moment where he saw his dad on the ground, just getting this shit kicked out of him like I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
And so I think in that sense, he probably believes it to be a rite of passage and just lets it happen. Just thinks like,
right. Yeah.
Again,
what can I learn?
What can I learn from this? This is the order of things to even pull. Can I roll that as another trait or?
What trait is it?
I understand the order of things.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Totally. So you're seeing the flexibility of the traits here.
Yeah.
This is the order of things. Getting whooped.
But even then, game wise, I can't match this at all. So would it just make sense?
You have to use as many dice as it takes.
Oh, so you have to match it no matter what. Okay.
Yeah, you either match it no matter what, or you give, or you say like, I hit the dirt and he
Uncle.
gets what he wants. Yeah, you call uncle, exactly.
Okay. So what is that? 10. I need... Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at all those little dice you have left.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now that's
Okay.
Fallout.
So you take 4 dice of fall. You take that beating, and now you can. What you tell me what happens after he kicks you in the face and you go down because it's fine. Taking a beating is just the way of things. How do you respond? Remember, you're arguing from the position of like being a Bartlett is more important than anything else.
Sure. I think I'll call on another trait. Bartletts don't give up. We determine who's been chosen. And I've been chosen to correct this man's path.
Right.
And so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not a...
Martyrdom is also a way to salvation.
Yeah. Not the worst.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ones are dangerous business.
They are. Yeah. Yeah, I'll put up the best, I guess.
Okay.
I can only throw down 2, right?
Yes. Yeah. You
Yeah.
always raise with 2. All right.
Yeah.
So now I need to see.
So
need to
I stand up and say, like, it's time to finish this and start to hoping that he's out of breath and maybe a little bit
Right,
tired
you
of
let
beating
him-
my ass this entire time.
You let him break himself on you, and now, yeah, he's breathing hard, and he hasn't even really said a word, but you know what this fight is about. You know he just wants to put a Bartlett in his place, and he's wheezing and breathing hard, and kind of looking at you like, why don't you stay down? Why don't you let me win this thing? And I need to match this with a 7, so I'm gonna put up these 2 4s. And and I think he looks at you, and he says, he's like, well, your only thing your damn family's any good at is taking a beating and looking pretty. And he looks at you, you get like blood all over your face, and he's like, I can't make you stop taking a beating, but I can do something about that face. And like cracks his knuckles, then like lunges for you, and that means I got to put up my last 2 dice here. So it comes at you with that 8.
So 2, 4, 6. I can match at least with fucking a shit ton of time. So I think he comes at me, and I probably just let it happen. Maybe this is when it dawns. It dawns on me that maybe there is more to life than being a Bartlett. Maybe this is God's choice happening in front of me and trying to show me that life is more than just a name, as I'm about to get fucking just massacred.
Yeah, no. Now, if you keep an eye on the dice here, you let it happen, but you've still got dice. I'm gonna lose this conflict.
Right.
Now, if you want to, you can, like the way you described it. That describes you like giving. You can say, I'm not going to match this. I'm not going to take all that fallout. I let it happen.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. Right. That's what that sounds like you were describing.
Yeah, I think I still let
You
that
want to
happen.
be stubborn and like lean on the Bartlett thing. You can keep those ones and reply, but you're going to get, 9 fallout dice. So do you want to give instead?
Yeah, I give.
Okay.
I give.
All right, cool. So you don't take any of that fallout. And yeah, I think he just lays into your face a bunch. And maybe you spend some time thereafter in the infirmary, healing up from a broken cheek and a broken nose and getting stitches and thinking about, that maybe there is more to things. You had some time.
And probably the entire time it's happening, the nurse is just ranting and raving about the Bartlett, the Bartlett name.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm just,
cool.
it's just noise as I'm contemplating what it really means.
Cool. Yeah. So you get to write a 1d6 trait about that. And because the circumstances define the trait, it can just be like, I learned there's more to life than being a Bartlett, or it can be about like, something that you learned from specifically getting like your ass whooped, because you were a Bartlett, right? That gives you some additional stuff. And then you're going to roll 4d6 for your fallout.
All right. And that's just a D6 trait, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And then let me roll 46, 14.
Okay. All right. So you got a 12. Ooh, this was a serious beating. So, yeah, you got an 11. So close to the next level. It's just going to be a regular one like
right.
the other guys got. And did you get a Any ones? Yeah, you do.
I got
Okay,
one.
so same thing. 1d6 trait from the conflict itself. One from the experience list, and one from the fallout sum of the long-term consequences. So one from that oval on the right, and one from the little circle in the middle on the fallout.
Gotcha.
Cool. There you go. So now we know how the rules work. We learned a ton about the characters and their situation, and we're ready to dig into the nastiness that is the town that you're gonna dive into. Do you, JP? What do you want to do timing wise? Do you want to take our second break here, or do you want to jump in, get started?
Yeah, we'll take our second break here, unless you want to do a quick introduction of the town.
No, let's do the whole town in the next two.
Okay.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right, we'll take our second break. Still got 2 more hours left to go here on RollPlay Dogs in the Vineyard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.